the Earth Mark II, in fact. We're making a copy from our original blueprints.
Original blueprints? Are you trying to tell me you made the Earth?
Oh, yes. Did you ever go to a place, I think it was called Norway?
No, I didn't.
Pity, that was one of mine. Won an award, you know. Lovely, crinkly edges. I was terribly sorry to hear it had been destroyed.
You were?
5 minutes too early.
What?
Shocking cock-up. The mice were furious.
The mice were furious?
Yes.
Oh, yes, well, so I expect with the dogs and cats and duck-billed platypuses. But really, I don't see
they weren't running the planet, were they?
No, but
And the mice were.
Huh?
So they were rather upset that it was destroyed 5 minutes too early, so we've got to build another one.
Sorry. Are we talking about the little white furry things with the cheese fixation and women standing screaming on tables in early 60s sitcoms?
Earthman, it is sometimes hard to follow your mode of speech. Remember, I have been asleep inside this planet of Magrathea for 5 million years and know little of these early 60s sitcoms of which you speak. But these creatures you call mice are merely the protrusion into our dimension of vast, hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings. The whole business with the cheese and the squeaking is just a front. They've been experimenting on you, I'm afraid.
No, come on, that's the wrong way round. We used to experiment on them. You know, behavioral research and so on.
Such subtlety.
What?
How better to disguise their real natures, and how better to guide your thinking. Suddenly running down the maze the wrong way, eating the wrong bit of cheese, unexpectedly dropping dead of myxomatosis. Earthman, I'm afraid I must tell you that your planet of people have formed the matrix of an organic computer, running a 10 million year research program to find the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything.
Oh.
You see, they really are particularly clever, hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings.
Attention, please, slightly broadcast. The mice have received reports that you have a human from the planet Earth with you. Report immediately. Report immediately.
However, in the field of management relations, they're absolutely shocking.
Really?
Yes, you see, well, every time they give me an order, I just want to jump on a table and scream.
I can see that would be a problem.
There are, of course, many problems connected with life, of which some of the most popular are: why are people born, why do they die, and why do they want to spend so much of the intervening time wearing digital watches? Many millions of years ago, a race of hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings got so fed up with all the constant bickering about the meaning of life, which used to interrupt their favorite pastime of Brocchian ultra cricket, a curious game which involved suddenly hitting people for no readily apparent reason and running away, that they decided to sit down and solve the problem once and for all. And to this end, they built themselves a stupendous supercomputer which was so amazingly intelligent that even before its databanks had been connected up, it had started from first principles with "I think, therefore I am," and had got as far as deducing the existence of rice pudding and income tax before anyone managed to turn it off. Could a mere computer solve the problem of life, the universe, and everything? Fortunately for posterity, there exists this recording of what happened when the computer was given its monumental task.
What is this great task for which I, Deep Thought, the second greatest computer in the universe of time and space, have been called into existence?
Oh, Deep Thought computer, the task we have designed you to perform is this. We want you to tell us the answer.
The answer? The answer to what?
Life.
The universe.
Everything.
Tricky.
But can you do it?
Yes, I can do it.
There is an answer? A simple answer?
Yes, life, the universe, and everything. There is an answer. But I'll have to think about it.
What's happening out there?
We demand admission. Come on, you can't keep us out. We demand that you can't keep us out.
Who are you? What do you want?
I am Magic Thighs.
And I demand that I am Vroomfondle.
It's all right, you don't need to demand that.
Sorry. All right, I am Vroomfondle, and that is not a demand. That is a solid fact. What we demand is solid facts.
No, we don't. That is precisely what we don't demand.
Sorry. We don't demand solid facts.
Right.
What we demand is a total absence of solid facts. I demand that I may or may not be Broomfondle.
Look, but who are you anyway?
We are philosophers.
Though we may not be.
Yes, we are. We're quite definitely here as representatives of the amalgamated union of philosophers, sages, luminaries, and other professional thinking persons. And we want this machine off, and we want it off now.
What is all this?
We demand that you get rid of it.
What's the problem?
I'll tell you what the problem is. Demarcation, that's the problem.
We demand that demarcation may or may not be the problem.
You just let the machines get on with the adding up, and we'll take care of the eternal verities, thank you very much.
Right.
Under law, the quest for ultimate truth is quite clearly the prerogative of your working thinkers.
Right.
Any bloody machine goes and actually finds it, and we're straight out of a job, aren't we? I mean, well, what's the use of our sitting up all night saying there may
Or may not be.
or may not be a god if this machine gives you his telephone number the next morning?
We demand guaranteed, rigidly defined areas of doubt and uncertainty.
Might I make an observation at this point?
You keep out of this metal nose!
We demand that that machine not be allowed to think about this problem.
All I wanted to say...
We'll go on strike.
That's right, you'll have a national philosopher's strike on your hands.
Whom will that inconvenience?
Never you mind who it will inconvenience, you box of blacklegging binary bits.
Right.
It'll hurt, Buster. It'll hurt.
There is no terror in your threats. All I wanted to say is that I am now irrevocably committed to computing the answer to life, the universe, and everything. But the program will take me 7.5 million years to run.
7.5 million years?
And it occurs to me that running a program like this is bound to cause sensational public interest. And so, any philosophers, such as perhaps yourselves, who are quick off the mark, are going to clean up in the prediction business.
Prediction business, what's that?
You just get on the pundit circuit. You all go on the chat shows and the color supplements and violently disagree with each other about what answer I'm eventually going to produce. And if you get yourselves clever agents, you'll be on the gravy train for life.
Bloody hell. Now that's what I call thinking. Here, Broomfondle, why do we never think of things like that?
Don't know. Think our minds must be too highly trained, Magic Thighs.
Oh, yeah.
And so Broomfondle and Magic Thighs became the greatest and most truly interesting pundits the universe had ever known. And thousands upon thousands of generations later, the great day for which this race of hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings had waited, somewhat impatiently, dawned.
Oh, people who wait in the shadow of deep thought, honored descendants of Broomfondle and Magic Thighs, the time of waiting is over. 7.5 million years our race has waited for this great and hopefully enlightening day, the day of the answer. Never again will we wake up in the morning and think, who am I? What is my purpose in life? Does it really, cosmically speaking, matter if I don't get up and go to work? For today, we will finally learn once and for all the plain and simple answer to all these nagging little problems of life, the universe, and everything. From today, we can enjoy our games of Brockian Ultra Cricket in the firm and comfortable knowledge that the meaning of life is now well and truly sorted out.
The time is nearly upon us. I detect a change in the computer. It's suddenly looking a lot more relaxed.
75,000 generations ago, our ancestors set this program in motion. In all that time, we will be the first to hear the computer speak.
An awesome prospect.
We are the ones who will hear the answer to the great question of life.
The universe.
And everything.
Deep thought prepares to speak.
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, Deep Thought, do you have you, that is,
An answer for you?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
There really is one.
There really is one.
To everything? To the great question of life, the universe, and everything?
Yes?
And are you ready to give it to us?
I am
Now?
now.
Wow.
Though I don't think you're going to like it.
Doesn't matter. We must know it. Now.
Now.
Yes, now.
All right.
Well?
You're really not going to like it.
Tell us.
All right. The answer to everything,
Yes?
life, the universe, and everything
Yes?
is
Yes?
42.
We're going to get lynched, you know that.
It was a tough assignment.
42? I mean, is that all we've waited for? That money?
May I be permitted to make an observation?
7.5 million years' work.
I checked it very thoroughly, and that definitely is the answer. I think the problem, essentially, is that you've never actually said what the question is.
But it was the ultimate question. The question of life, the universe, and everything.
Yes, but what actually is it?
Well, I mean...
You know, why is,
What?
what sort of,
Where,
when...
well,
everything. Just everything, you know.
Exactly. Now, once you know what the question actually is, you'll know what the answer means.
Oh, terrific.
Look, all right. Now, can you please tell us the question?
The ultimate question
Yes.
of life, the universe, and everything?
Yes.
Tricky.
But can you do it?
No.
Oh.
But I'll tell you who can.
But who? Please
Tell
tell us,
us,
please.
I speak of the computer that is to come after me. A computer whose merest operational parameters I am not worthy to calculate. And yet, I will design it for you. A computer to calculate the ultimate question. A computer of such infinite and subtle complexity that organic life itself shall form part of its operational matrix. And you yourselves shall take on the forms of humble rodents and go down into the computer.
I think this is getting needlessly messianic.
Down to navigate its 10 million year program. Yes, I shall design this computer for you, and I shall name it also unto you, and it shall be called the Earth. Yes.
Oh. What a dull name.
Earthman, you must awake. Wake up.
Where am I?
You have been in a deep trance, absorbing data from the Magrathian Compu Matrix archive cells.
Oh, of course.
Come, you are to meet your masters. Your arrival on our planet has caused considerable excitement. It has already been hailed as the third most improbable event in the history of the universe.
What were the first two?
Oh, probably just coincidences.
But was that all true? That the Earth was just a huge computer?
Yes, and it was destroyed by the Vogons 5 minutes before the 10 million year program was completed. Well, that's bureaucracy for you.
You know, that would explain a lot of things. All through my life, I've had this strange, unaccountable feeling that something secret, something sinister was going on in the world, and no one would tell me what it was.
Oh, that's just perfectly normal paranoia. Everyone in the universe has that.
Well, perhaps that means that somewhere outside even the universe, on the next scale up... that there's
Maybe. Who cares? Perhaps I'm old and tired, but I always think that the chances of finding out what really is going on are so absurdly remote that the only thing to do is say, hang the sense of it and just keep yourself occupied. Look at me. I designed coastlines. I got an award for Norway. Where's the sense in that? None that I've been able to make out. I've been doing fjords all my life. For a fleeting moment, they become fashionable, and I get a major award. In this replacement Earth we're building, they're giving me Africa to do, and of course I'm doing it with all fjords again because I happen to like them. And I'm old-fashioned enough to think that they give a lovely baroque feel to a continent. And they tell me it's not equatorial enough. What does it matter? Science has achieved some wonderful things, of course, but I'd far rather be happy than right any day.
And are you?
No. That's where it all falls down, of course.
Pity. It sounded like quite a good lifestyle otherwise.
Attention, please, Slarty Bartfast. Would Slarty Bartfast and the visiting Earth creature please report to the Mice in the Works reception area immediately?
I seem to be having this tremendous difficulty with my lifestyle.
Beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, that must seem an awfully fatuous thing to say.
Yes, I thought so.
It's just that I find it a bit hard to relate to all this.
It is, of course, well known that careless talk costs lives, but the full scale of the problem is not always appreciated. For instance, at the very moment that Arthur said, "I seem to be having this tremendous difficulty with my lifestyle," a freak wormhole opened up in the fabric of the space-time continuum and carried his words far, far back in time across almost infinite reaches of space to a distant galaxy where strange and warlike beings were poised on the brink of frightful interstellar battle. The two opposing leaders were meeting for the last time, and a dreadful silence fell across the conference table as the commander of the Hitchhiker'S, resplendent in his black jeweled battle shorts, gazed levelly at the Gugvant leader squatting opposite him in a cloud of green, sweet-smelling steam, and with a million sleek and horribly beweaponed star cruisers poised to unleash electric death at his single word of command, challenged the vile creature to take back what it had said about his mother. The creature stirred in his sickly, broiling vapor, and at that very moment the words,
I seem to be having this tremendous difficulty with my lifestyle,
drifted across the conference table. Unfortunately, in the Hitchhiker'S tongue, this was the most dreadful insult imaginable, and there was nothing for it but to wage terrible war. Eventually, after their galaxy had been decimated, it was realized that the whole thing had been a ghastly mistake, and so the two opposing battle fleets settled their few remaining differences in order to launch a joint attack on our galaxy, now positively identified as the source of the offending remark. For thousands more years, the mighty ships tore across the empty wastes of space and finally dived screaming onto the planet Earth, where, due to a terrible miscalculation of scale, the entire battle fleet was accidentally swallowed by a small dog. Those who study the complex interplay of cause and effect in the history of the universe say that this sort of thing is going on all the time, but are powerless to prevent it. It's just life, they say. Meanwhile, Arthur Dent has been escorted to the Magrathian Works reception area for a shatteringly odd meeting.
Arthur, you're safe.
Am I? Oh, good.
Hi, Arthur. Come and join us.
Ford, Trillian, Zaphod, what happened to you?
Well, our host's here.
Hosts? What hosts?
Welcome to lunch, Earth creature.
What? Who said that? There's a mouse on the table.
Oh, haven't you found out yet, Arthur?
What? Oh, I see. Yes. Yes, I just wasn't quite prepared for the full reality of it.
Arthur, this is Benji Mouse. And this is Frankie Mouse.
Nice to meet you.
Excuse me.
Yes, thank you, Slarty Bartfast. You may go.
What? Oh, very well. Thank you, sir. I'll just go and get on with some of my fjords then.
In fact, that won't be necessary. We won't be requiring the new Earth after all. We had this rather interesting proposition put to us.
What? You can't mean that. I've got 1,000 glaciers poised and ready to roll over Africa.
Well, perhaps you can take a quick skiing holiday before you dismantle them.
Skiing holiday? Those glaciers are works of art. Elegantly sculpted contours, soaring pinnacles of ice, deep, majestic ravines. It would be sacrilege to go skiing on high art.
Thank you, Slarty Bartfast. That will be all.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Well, goodbye, Earthman. Hope the lifestyle comes together.
What? Oh, thank you. Yes. Goodbye, then. Sorry about the fjords.
Now, Earth creature, as you've gathered, we've been at this ultimate question business now for 17.5 million years. Oh, longer, surely. No, it just seems longer. And then, just as we're about to get somewhere, you go and let your wretched planet get blown up, and, well, we're sick to death of the whole thing, to be honest.
Well, it's hardly my fault.
Yes, we appreciate that. The point is that we need a question. At least a question. And we can either do the whole thing all over again. God forbid. Or, well, we'll come to that. You see, the thing is, we've been offered an enormous contract to do the 5D TV chat show and lecture circuit.
What?
But we've got to have a strong product.
You see, Monkey Man, if they're just sitting there in the studio looking very relaxed and just, mentioning that they happen to know the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, and then eventually have to admit that, in fact, it's 42, then I think the show's probably quite short.
Right.
Yeah?
No follow-up, you see. We've got to have something that sounds good.
Something that sounds good? An ultimate question that sounds good?
Well, I mean, yes, idealism. Yes, the dignity of pure research. Yes, the pursuit of truth in all its forms. But there comes a point, I'm afraid, where you begin to suspect that if there's any real truth, it's that the entire infinity of the universe is almost certainly being run by a bunch of maniacs. And if it comes to a choice between spending another 10 million years finding that out, and on the other hand, just taking the money and running, then I, for one, could do with the exercise.
But I don't understand.
Shh, hey, get this, will you, Earthman? You are a last-generation product of that computer matrix, right? And you were there right up to the moment your planet got the finger, yeah?
Yes.
So
I
your
suppose
brain
that's
was
true.
an organic part of the penultimate configuration of the computer program.
Right?
Well, yes, but I don't quite see what this is.
There's a good chance that the structure of the question is encoded in the structure of your brain. So we want to buy it off you.
What, the question?
No, your brain.
What?
Yeah, that's okay, isn't it? I mean, who's gonna miss it?
Thank you very much.
I thought you said you could just read his brain electronically.
Yes, but we've got to get it out first. It's got to be prepared, treated, diced.
Thank you.
Arthur!
Hey, come on, guys. I mean, hey! It can be replaced, if you think it's that important.
An electronic brain. A simple one should
A
suffice.
simple one.
Yeah, it can be programmed to say what, and I don't understand, and where's the T, and who'd know the difference?
What?
See what I mean?
I'd notice the difference.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be programmed not to.
Look, I'm sorry, my soul lads. I don't think we've got a deal.
Emergency, emergency. Hostile ship has landed on planet. Intruders now within works reception area. Defense station. Defense station.
What is it now?
Oh, bats dudes, it'll be galactic police. We gotta go whoosh.
Police?
Yes, we're in a stolen spacecraft.
Improbability drive ship.
Ah, so that's how the Earthman got here.
Say, Fod, didn't you leave a note explaining how they could make a profit on the insurance deal?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have worked.
Come on, then, let's move.
Damn. Why all that fuss over 2 pounds of earthling grain? We're going to have to invent a question. What's yellow and dangerous? 42. No, doesn't work. No. How many roads must a man walk down? Ah, that's promising. Sounds good, but doesn't actually tie you down to meaning anything. How many roads must a man walk down? 42. Excellent, excellent, Frankie.
Which way you reckon, Zaphod?
At a wild guess, I'd say down here.
Okay, move.
Okay, people, Bronx, freeze! We got you covered.
You want to try guess at all, Ford?
Okay, this way.
Right, okay.
We don't want to shoot you, people, Bronx.
Suits me fine.
We're cornered.
Oh, hell, I've dropped my adrenaline pills. All right, behind this computer bank. Get down.
They're shooting at us. Yeah. I thought they said they didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I thought they said that.
Hey, we thought you said you didn't want to do that.
It isn't easy being a cop.
What did he say?
He said it isn't easy being a cop.
Well, surely that's his problem, isn't it?
I'd have thought so.
Hey, listen. I think we've got enough problems of our own with you shooting at us. So if you could avoid laying your personal problems on us as well, I think we'd probably find it easier to cope.
Now, see here, you guys. You're not dealing with any dumb, two-bit trigger-pumping morons with low hairlines, little piggy eyes, and no conversation. No, we are a couple of intelligent, caring guys who you'd probably quite like if you met us socially. Yeah. I don't go around gratuitously shooting people and bragging about it in seedy Space Rangers bars.
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't. I go around shooting people gratuitously and then agonize about it afterwards to my girlfriend.
Yeah, he does, and I write novels.
He writes them in crayon.
No, I haven't had any of them published yet, so I better warn you, I'm in a mean mood.
Who are these guys?
I think I preferred it when they were shooting.
So, you gonna come out quietly, or you gonna let us blast you out?
Which would you rather?
You still there?
Yes!
We didn't enjoy doing that at all.
We could tell.
Now listen to this, people, Brox, and you better listen good.
Why?
Because it's gonna be very intelligent and quite interesting and humane.
Okay, fire away! I mean...
Misunderstanding there.
Yeah, it was fun though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Shoot him again for a bit.
Yeah, why not?
The computer bank is absorbing a hell of a lot of energy. My thing's about to explode.
Well, that about wraps it up for this lifetime.
Well, it's been really nice running into you again, Zaphod.
Zaglabos, thrill juicing as strong. Like a Greek rock band reform.
What are you doing?
It's an ancient Beetlejuicean anthem.
Yeah.
Singing it makes us feel good at times of stress.
Zaglabos.
Well, if you're going to be like that about it.
Land of home and
It is, of course, more or less at this misleading point that this part of our story ends. Though it is in many ways a remarkable story, contains much that is apocryphal, or at least wildly inaccurate, is reasonably cheap, and has the words "Don't Panic" written in large friendly letters on the cover, it is not, of course, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy itself. To obtain your copy of the actual guide, please write to Megadodo Publications, Megadodo House, Ursa Minor Beta, enclosing £4.95p for the book and £578,000 million postage and packing. Far back in the mists of ancient time, in the great and glorious days of the former galactic empire, life was wild, rich, and on the whole tax-free. Mighty starships plied their way between exotic suns, seeking adventure and reward amongst the furthest reaches of galactic space. In those days, men were real men, women were real women, and small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri were real small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri. And all dared to brave unknown terrors, to do mighty deeds, to boldly split infinitives that no man had split before. And thus was the empire forged. Many men, of course, became extremely rich. But this was perfectly natural and nothing to be ashamed of, because no one was really poor, at least no one worth speaking of. And for these extremely rich merchants, life eventually became rather dull, and it seemed that none of the worlds they settled on was entirely satisfactory. Either the climate wasn't quite right in the later part of the afternoon, or the day was half an hour too long, or the sea was just the wrong shade of pink. And thus were created the conditions for a staggering new form of industry, custom-made luxury planet building. The home of this industry was the planet Magrathea, where vast hyperspatial engineering works were constructed to suck matter through white holes in space and form it into dream planets, lovingly made to meet the exacting standards that the galaxy's richest men had naturally come to expect. And so successful was this venture that very soon Magrathea itself soon became the richest planet of all time, and the rest of the galaxy was reduced to abject poverty. And so the system broke down. The empire collapsed, and a long, sullen silence settled over the galaxy, disturbed only by the pen-scratchings of scholars as they labored into the night over smug little treatises on the value of a planned political economy. Magrathea itself disappeared, and its memory soon passed into the obscurity of legend. In these enlightened days, of course, no one believes a word of it.
I'm sorry, Zaphod. I just don't believe a word of it.
Listen to me, Ford. I found it. I swear I found it.
Look, Magrathea is a myth, a fairy story. It's what parents tell their kids about at night if they want them to grow up to become economists,
And we are currently in orbit around it.
Zaphod, I can't help what you may personally be in orbit around, but this ship...
Computer...
Oh, no.
Hi there, this is Eddie, your shipboard computer, and I'm feeling just great, guys. And I know I'm just going to get a bundle of kicks out of any program you care to run through me.
Is this necessary?
Computer, tell us again what our current trajectory is.
A real pleasure, fella. We are currently in orbit at an altitude of 300 miles around the legendary planet of Magrathea. Golly.
Proving nothing. I wouldn't trust that computer to speak my weight.
I can do that for you, sure.
No, thank you.
I can even work out your personality problems to 10 decimal places if it'll help.
Zaphod, we should have dawn coming up at any minute now on the planet, whatever it turns out to be.
Okay. Let's just take a look at it. Computer?
Hi there, what can I do
Just
for you?
shut up and give us external vision on the monitors.
Trillian,
Yes, Arthur.
I feel I may be missing the point of something.
Well, it's just that Magrathea is supposed to be this legendary planet from way back, which no one seriously believes in. A bit like Atlantis, really. Except that the legends say the Magratheans used to manufacture planets.
No, I'm sorry, Zaphod. It looks very pretty on the screen, but I refuse to believe it's Magrathea.
The suspense is killing me. Is there any tea on this spaceship?
Stress and nervous tension are now serious social problems in all parts of the galaxy. And it is in order that this situation should not be exacerbated that the following facts will now be revealed in advance. The planet in question is, in fact, Magrathea. A missile attack shortly to be launched by an ancient and automatic defense system will merely result in the bruising of someone's upper arm and the untimely creation and sudden demise of an innocent sperm whale and a bowl of petunias. In order that some sense of mystery should still be preserved, no revelation will yet be made concerning whose upper arm has been bruised. This fact may safely be made the subject of suspense, since it is of no significance whatsoever. None of this, of course, is known to the crew of the starship Heart of Gold.
Well, even supposing it is Magrathea.
It is.
Which it isn't. What do you want with it anyway?
Oh, the usual. Fame, money, and...
But it just looks like a dead planet.
Greetings,
Computer?
Hi there.
What is it?
Oh, just some 5-million-year-old tape recording that's being broadcast at us.
This is a recorded announcement, as I'm afraid we're all out at the moment. The Commercial Council of Magrathea thanks you for your esteemed visit,
Okay.
but regrets that the entire planet is temporarily closed for business. Thank you. If you would like to leave your name and the address of the planet where you could be contacted, kindly speak when you hear the tone.
They want to get rid of us. What do we do?
It's just a recording. Keep going. Got that, computer?
I got it.
We would like to assure you that as soon as our business is resumed, announcements will be made in all fashionable magazines and color supplements, and clients will once again be able to select from all that's best in contemporary geography. Meanwhile, we thank our clients for their kind interest and would ask them to leave now.
Oh, I suppose we'd better be going then, hadn't we?
Shh. There's absolutely nothing to be worried about.
Then why is everyone so tense?
They're just interested. We keep going.
It is most gratifying that your enthusiasm for our planet continues unabated, and so we would like to assure you that the guided missiles currently converging with your ship are part of the special service we extend to all of our most enthusiastic clients, and the fully armed nuclear warheads are, of course, merely a courtesy detail. We look forward to your custom in future lives. Thank you.
If that's their sales pitch, what must it be like in the complaints department?
Hey, this is terrific. It means we really must be onto something if they're trying to kill us.
Terrific!
You mean there is someone down there after all?
No, the whole defense system must be automatic, but the question is why?
What are we going to do?
Just keep cool.
Is that all?
No, we're also going to take evasive action. Computer, what evasive action can we take?
None, I'm afraid, guys.
Or something.
There seems to be something jamming my guidance systems. Impact minus 40 seconds. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Please call me Eddie if it'll help you relax.
Right. Look, we've got to get manual control of this ship.
Can you fly her?
No, can you?
No.
Forward? No. Fine, we'll do it together.
I can't either.
Yeah, I'd guess that. Computer, I want a full manual control now.
You got it. Good luck, guys. Impact minus 30 seconds.
Okay, forward, full retro thrust and 10 degrees starboard.
We're veering too fast.
Can't hold her. She's going into a spin.
It is, of course, more or less at this point that one of our heroes sustains a slight bruise to the upper arm. This should be emphasized because, as has already been revealed, they escape otherwise completely unharmed, and the deadly nuclear missiles do not eventually hit the ship. Our hero's safety is absolutely assured.
Impact minus 25 seconds, guys.
The rockets are still homing in. You can't shake them. We're going to die.
When you walk through
Shut that bloody computer up.
Impact minus 15 seconds.
Why doesn't anyone turn on those improbability drive thing?
Don't be silly, you can't do that.
Why not? There's nothing to lose at this stage.
Does anyone know why Arthur can't turn on the improbability drive?
Minus 5 seconds has been great for you guys. God bless you.
I said, does anyone...
What the hell happened?
Well, I was just saying, there's this improbability drive switch here, you see, and I just
Where
pressed
are we,
it.
Trillian?
Exactly where we were, I think.
Then what happened to the missiles?
Well, according to this screen, they've just turned into a bowl of petunias and a very surprised-looking whale.
At an improbability factor of 8,767,128 to 1 against.
Did you think of that, Earthman?
Well, all I did was...
That's
simply press
very good thinking, you know that? You just saved our lives.
Oh, it was nothing, really.
Oh, was it? Oh, well, forget it then. Okay, computer, take us into land.
Well, I say it was nothing. I mean, obviously it was something. I was just trying to say it's not worth making too much of a fuss about. I mean, just saving everybody's life.
Another thing that no one made too much fuss about was the fact that against all probability, a sperm whale had suddenly been called into existence some miles above the surface of an alien planet. And since this is not a naturally tenable position for a whale, this innocent creature had very little time to come to terms with its identity as a whale before it had to come to terms with suddenly not being a whale anymore. This is what it thought as it fell.
What's happening? Excuse me? Who am I? Hello? Why am I here? What's my purpose in life? What do I mean by who am I? Now, calm down. Get a grip now. Oh, this is an interesting sensation. What is it? It's a sort of yawning, tingling sensation in my... Well, I suppose I better start finding names for things if I want to make any headway in what, for the sake of what I shall call an argument, I shall call the world. So, let's call it my stomach. So, a yawning, tingling sensation in my stomach. Good. Ooh, it's getting quite strong. And hey, what about this whistling, roaring sound going past what I'm suddenly going to call my head? That can be wind. Is that a good name? Yeah, well, it'll do. Perhaps I can find a better name for it later when I find out what it's for, because there certainly seems to be a hell of a lot of it. Hey, what's this thing? Let's call it, tail. Yeah, tail. Hey, I can really thrash him out pretty good, can't I? Wow! Wow! Hey! Doesn't seem to achieve much, but I'll probably find out what it's for later on. Now, have I built up any coherent picture of things yet? No. Oh, well, hey, this is really exciting. So much to find out about, so much to look forward to. I'm quite dizzy with anticipation. Or is it the wind? Hey, there really is a lot of that now, isn't there? And wow, what's this thing coming towards me very fast? Very, very fast. So big and flat and wide. It needs a big, wide-sounding sort of word like round. That's it. Ground! I wonder if it'll be friends with me.
Curiously enough, the only thing that went through the mind of the bowl of petunias as it fell was, oh no, not again. Many people have speculated that if we knew exactly why the bowl of petunias had thought that, we would know a lot more about the nature of the universe than we do now. Similarly, a lot of people might have found life a great deal less puzzling if it had been generally realized that human beings were only the third most intelligent life forms on the planet Earth, instead of, as was generally thought by most independent observers, the second. The significance of this fact will become clear to Arthur Dent some 4 hours and 37 minutes after the starship has landed on the planet Magrathea, or 4 hours and 32 minutes after Trillian says, "Are we taking this robot?"
Are we taking this robot?
Don't feel you have to take any notice of me, please.
Oh, Marvin, the paranoid android. Yeah, we'll take him. How you doing, Metal Man?
Oh, fine. Good. If you happen to like being me, which personally I don't.
Terrific. Okay, everybody, let's go.
Good afternoon, boys.
What's that?
Oh, that's just the computer. I discovered it had an emergency backup personality, so I plugged it in. Can't be worse, can it?
Now, this is going to be your first day on a strange planet. So I want you all wrapped up snug and warm, and no playing with any naughty bug-eyed monsters.
Can't be worse.
I think we'd be better off with a slide rule.
Right, who said that?
Will you open up this exit hatch, please, computer?
Not until whoever said that owns up.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Computer.
I'm waiting. I can wait all day if necessary.
Hey, computer. If you don't open that exit hatch pretty damn pronto, I might find a very large axe to reprogram you with, okay?
I can see this relationship as something we're all going to have to work at.
Thank you. Let's go.
It'll all end in tears, I know it.
It's fantastic.
It's bloody cold.
An entire alien world. Thousands of light years from home. Pity it's such a dump, though.
Yeah, stark, dreary, and spattered with whale meat.
Hey, from this ridge you can see the remains of an ancient city.
What's it like?
Well, it's a bit of a dump.
Ford, do you realize that robot can hum like Pink Floyd?
But I found what I was after. A passageway leading down into the interior of the planet.
Yeah?
And that's where we have to go. Where no organic life form has trod these 5 million years into the very depths of time itself. Can it, Marvin?
Well, come on, if we're going.
Right. Hey, Earthman.
Arthur.
Could you sort of keep the robot with you and guard this end of the passageway, okay?
Guard? What from? You just said there's no one here.
Yeah, well, just for safety, okay?
Whose? Yours or mine?
Good lad. Okay, here we go.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well, I hope you all have a really miserable time.
Don't worry, they will.
Why don't you flip through the book whilst you're waiting?
What book?
The Hitchhiker'S Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, that thing.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a very unevenly edited book and contains many passages which simply seemed to its editors like a good idea at the time. One of these supposedly relates the experiences of one Vít Vujagig, a quiet young student at the University of Maximegalon who pursued a brilliant academic career studying ancient philology, transformational ethics, and the wave harmonic theory of historical perception. And then, after a night of drinking pan-galactic gargle blasters with Zaphod Beeblebrox, became increasingly obsessed with the problem of what had happened to all the biros he'd bought over the past few years. There followed a long period of painstaking research, during which he visited all the major centers of biro loss throughout the galaxy, and eventually came up with a quaint little theory which quite caught the public imagination at the time. Somewhere in the cosmos, he said, along with all the planets inhabited by humanoids, reptiloids, fishoids, walking trioids, and superintelligent shades of the color blue, there was also a planet entirely given over to biro life forms. And it was to this planet that unattended biros would make their way, slipping quietly through wormholes in space, to a world where they knew they could enjoy a uniquely biroid lifestyle, responding to highly biro-orientated stimuli, in fact, leading the biro equivalent of the good life. And as theories go, this was all very fine and pleasant, until Vit Vujagig suddenly claimed to have found this planet, and to have worked there for a while driving a limousine for a family of cheap green retractables. Whereupon he was taken away, locked up, wrote a book, and was finally sent into tax exile, which is the usual fate reserved for those who are determined to make a fool of themselves in public. When one day an expedition was sent to the spatial coordinates that Vujagig had claimed for this planet, they discovered only a small asteroid inhabited by a solitary old man who claimed repeatedly that nothing was true, though he was later discovered to be lying. There did, however, remain the question both of the mysterious 60,000 Altarian dollars paid yearly into his bank account and, of course, of Zaphod Beeblebrox's highly profitable second-hand biro business. Meanwhile, on the surface of Magrathea,
Night's falling. Look, Robot, the stars are coming out.
I know. Wretched, isn't it?
But that sunset, I've never seen anything like it in my wildest dreams. The two suns. It was like mountains of fire boiling into space.
I've seen it. It's rubbish.
We only ever had the one sun at home. I came from a planet called Earth, you know.
I know. You keep going on about it. It sounds awful.
Oh, no. It was a beautiful place.
Did it have oceans?
Oh, yes. Great, wide, rolling blue oceans.
Can't bear oceans.
Tell me, do you get on well with other robots?
Hate them. Where are you going?
I think I'll just take a short walk.
Don't blame you.
Good evening. Do you choose a cold night to visit our dead planet? My name is not important.
You startled me.
Do not be alarmed. I will not harm you.
But you shot at us. There were missiles.
Merely an automatic system. Ancient computers, ranged in the long caves deep in the bowels of the planet, tick away the dark millennia. I think they take the occasional pot shot to relieve the monotony. I'm a great fan of science, you know.
Really?
Oh, yes. You seem ill at ease.
Well, no disrespect, but I gathered you were all dead.
Dead? No. We have but slept.
Ah, slept?
Yes, through the economic recession, you see.
What?
Well, 5 million years ago, the galactic economy collapsed, and seeing that custom-built planets is something of a luxury commodity, you see, you know we built planets, do you?
Yes, I sort of gathered.
Fascinating trade. Doing the coastlines was always my favorite. Used to have endless fun doing all the little fiddly bits in fjords. So, anyway, the recession. Yes, we decided to sleep through it.
Sleep through it?
Yes. Our computers were index-linked to the galactic stock market prices, you see, and they were programmed to revive us when everyone had rebuilt the economy enough to afford our rather expensive services again.
Good God, that's a pretty unethical way to behave, isn't it?
Is it? I'm sorry, I'm a bit out of touch. Now, you must come with me. Great things are afoot. You must come now, or you will be late.
Late? What for?
What is your name, human?
Dent. Arthur Dent.
Late, as in the late Dent, Arthur Dent. It's a sort of threat, you see. Never been terribly good at them myself, but I'm told they can be terribly effective. Come, we must go. Even now, our race is being revived from its 5-million-year-old slumber.
Excuse me, what is your name, by the way?
My name? My name is Slarty Bartfast.
I beg your pardon.
Slarty Bartfast.
Slarty Bartfast.
I said it wasn't important. Come.
It is an important and popular fact that things are not always what they seem. For instance, on the planet Earth, man had always assumed that he was more intelligent than dolphins because he had achieved so much. The wheel, New York, wars, and so on. But conversely, the dolphins believed themselves to be more intelligent than man for precisely the same reasons. Curiously enough, the dolphins had long known of the impending demolition of the Earth and had made many attempts to alert mankind to the danger. But most of their communications were interpreted as amusing attempts to punch footballs or whistle for titbits. So they eventually gave up and left the Earth by their own means shortly before the Vogons arrived. The last ever dolphin message was misinterpreted as a surprisingly sophisticated attempt to do a double backward somersault through a hoop whilst whistling the Star-Spangled Banner. In fact, the message was this: "So long and thanks for all the fish." In fact, there was only one species on the planet more intelligent than dolphins, and they spent a lot of their time in behavioral research laboratories, running round inside wheels and mazes, conducting frighteningly elegant and subtle experiments on man.
Earthman, we are now deep in the heart of Magrathea. I should warn you that the chamber we are about to be projected into does not literally exist within our planet. It is simply the gateway into a vast tract of hyperspace. It may disturb you.
Oh.
It scares the willies out of me. Here we go. Welcome to our factory floor. This is where we make most of our planet, you see. The planet forges of Magrathea. We have been awakened to perform just one extraordinary commission. There, in the distance before us.
My God, the Earth!